Warning, the following podcast contains a large, some would say excessive amount of terrible, horrible, no good, very bad adult language and concepts. Parents of impressionable children should do some fucking parenting and not let their kids listen to this shit. This is the McGregor File for January 18th, 2024. And now your host, Yancey McGregor.
Good evening. First up in the file, President Sloan's approval rating continues to decline. Recent polls put the president's approval rating at 21.8%, down 6 points from where he was just 6 months ago. Many of those in the political journalism sector, myself included, wonder what, if anything, can halt this seeming slide into obscurity.
In our culture, we have the expectation that we'll find familiar patterns in our leaders' decisions. We expect our male mandarins to place a premium on action over discussion, and our women rajas to sit around and talk through all the available options before making a move. What sort of leader is our Robert Sloan? With his every effeminate word, he shows himself to be a leaky vessel who can't stop running his mouth off in public about his policies, although he never actually acts upon them. How am I supposed to respond to shit like that?
You don't.
Or you get it all over your hands.
The woman makes my bonsai tree look like a fucking Rhodes Scholar.
In the history of dumb fucking morons writing dumb fucking columns in dumb fucking rags, she may actually be the dumbest.
And that's going some.
Bottom line, we've got Mona Kinsella calling the president a girl on the op-ed page of the Post.
What is she, 6?
Pulling her pigtails is obviously out of the fucking question.
If you do it by hand, sure. But I say we tie him to the trailer of a fucking big rig and road haul her down 50 fucking miles of Route 1 until she's nothing but bone dust and a fucking cell phone. That might send the right message.
You know, I've heard worse ideas.
They're just going to hire somebody to replace her, and she'll say the same thing, or near enough that it makes no difference.
As hard as that is to believe.
Freedom of the press.
What a fucking joke.
Yes. Your attitudes regarding the First Amendment aside, what's the official response? Because you know those vultures in the press corps are going to be circling to pick meat off our bones.
Officially, we have no comment.
Off the record, ask them if they'd like to get stuffed into fucking dog carriers and packed with the luggage on Air Force One next time the president flies somewhere. We can arrange that.
Feel free to remind them that unemployment's still hovering at 15%. That our honored opposition on the Hill's dragging their heels on the bill like a fucking hooker in Whitechapel. And there's fucking soldiers and civilians dying in fucking Korea right now. And they're wasting all of our time on trivial bullshit like this.
If they want to play hopscotch like a bunch of pissy little schoolgirls, we're more than willing to break fucking scotch bottles over their heads and hop on their backs until our feet puncture their kidneys and we have to kick them off like footballs.
You know, that might actually work.
Wilson.
You and the Red Death did a fine number on Maggie Griffin the other day.
Well, if it isn't Leslie fucking Landon, God's gift to the Republican Party and patron saint of unqualified douchebags going down in political flames.
Showing up in her office with blurry pictures and bullshit threats about your friends at the Post? That's going to play great when she's on Meet the Press this weekend.
Fucking stories going to press tomorrow. She's going to be too busy keeping reporters from crawling up her asshole with pickaxes and flashlights on Friday to worry about pressing the meat on national TV on Sunday.
Please, your photos are just as phony as her chest is. They probably cost more, too.
In addition to our very real and very serious photographic evidence, Leslie, we also have sworn affidavits from 3 clerks, 4 different guests, 2 bellhops, and, of course, Mr. fucking Wild fucking Stallion himself. The USS Griffin is sinking, all hands lost, but thanks for calling to confirm the disaster.
You know better than that, Alex. When was the last time a Republican went down in this town because of a sex scandal?
Do you really want me to answer that question?
Can't do it, can you?
Can't figure out where to start? Going down in sex scandals is pretty much par for the course on your fucking side of the aisle, isn't it?
This is just a friendly warning. Maggie Griffin intends to fight back against your ridiculous allegations, and I intend to help her every step of the way.
Yeah, much appreciated. Now go get fucked by a big burly trucker in a tiny truck stop bathroom.
It's always nice talking with you too, Alex.
215 yay. 215 nay. Fuck. Listen up, Muppet Babies! First one of you fuckleheads to break the deadlock in our direction doesn't get punched in the face so hard he'll be picking cartilage out of his teeth for the next fucking year. The rest of you, well, you have dental, right?
How we doing?
Jesus!
Do I look like the fucking king of the Jews?
Not in this light. But you know, Alex, they can do amazing things with computers nowadays.
I just got put on notice by Leslie fucking Landon.
This is about Maggie.
This is about Maggie.
You remember the days when you fucking blackmailed people and they paid up instead of forcing us to ruin their careers?
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun this way. You know, you don't sound good, amiga.
I just flew in from the smoking section and boy are my mucous membranes tired.
A likely story, Missy. Except I know for a fact you've never touched a cigarette a day in your life.
It might be a cold. You got this?
I've got this like a drunken fucking debutante's got a social disease.
Wilson. She fucking what? Oh, I'm going to tie her to a Catherine wheel and brain her until there's nothing in her worthless fucking skull with my fucking fist punching through her cheek.
Are you okay?
Dixon.
You need me to come with? I could use the target practice.
You've got this mess. I've got Dixon.
Skull session, huh?
I'll call you to pick up the fucking bone fragments when I'm done.
But I didn't get you anything.
You know, you're a real fucking wonder girl. You should put on a fucking cape. Then go get yourself shot while trying to foil a fucking bank robbery. At least you'd be doing something useful instead of fucking torpedoing our approval ratings every time you flap your swollen gums. According to this, we're 5 points down since last week. 5!
I'm contributing a necessary viewpoint to the mainstream discussion of the war.
No, Pamela, you are not. You're making us look like a bunch of backwards, pud-pulling yokels who can't keep our own people under control.
You can't control me.
I can't control your mouth, but since I can and will destroy you any fucking time I want to, I can control your career. Which one's more important to you?
It's not about the career. It's about the principle of letting our troops die while...
If you were talking to the president about this behind closed doors, like you're fucking supposed to, I'd believe you. But you never said a fucking word to the president behind closed doors, because if you had, he'd have fucking told me. This is about you not winning the nomination 4 years ago, and it's about you trying to steal it now by sailing out to fucking international waters and shooting fucking torpedoes at the administration until we sink or you're out of ammo.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Then you've got fucking amnesia. Do you know what happened to the Streltsy?
I don't even know what a Streltsy is.
Russian musketeers. They were supposed to be loyal soldiers, too. Know their fucking place. Leader says charge. They charge. Leader says get turned into hamburger by guys with guns. Well, they serve themselves up on buns with cheese and fucking pickles. That's you. That's me. That's all of us. Of course, like you, sometimes the Streltsy had a thing for agitating palace coup. They rose up against Peter the Great, for instance.
And what's that to me?
A fucking warning, you thick-headed fucking cunt. Hi, sweetie. How was your flight? 1 minute. Settling in okay? Aw, that's great. Remember to call your father.
I do have things to do.
1 fucking minute. No, I think it's just a cold. Yes. Yes, I am, actually. Yeah, you too. Okay, bye, sweetie. And you know what Peter the Great did to them?
He killed them, I'm sure. Look, does this have a point? I've got things to do today that have nothing to do with sitting around here and suffering through another one of your mindless little ass chewings.
He didn't just kill them. Peter the Great had their fucking hackheads forcibly fucking hacked off their worthless traitor necks. They say he did some of them with his own 2 hands.
You know, that's a wonderful image.
I'll speak plainly because I can see you're still so fucking dense that nothing, up to and including your poor cuckold husband's microscopic fucking prick, can penetrate you. If you ever open your fucking word hole on the subject of troop deployments in Korea again, I mean word fucking one, you're going to wish I'd stopped at beheading, because I won't. I'll fucking learn necromancy and kill you so many times you'll fucking beg to stay dead.
You don't frighten me, Wilson. Unlike you, some people around here actually like me.
Because you sucked their dicks, Pamela. You know what your problem is? You want to be loved. You want the whole fucking country to kneel before you and lick your box, and you'll say and do just about anything so they'll give you such a glorious head. But nobody loves you. Not really.
Maybe not, but they sure as hell like me better than they like you.
They fear me. Fear's a far more useful tool in my fucking toolbox because it gets things done. Fear of what I'll let Rachel do to you when I tell her about your attitude in this conversation. Fear of what sorts of dark, evil fucking things I know about you and will whisper to the press. Because you know, I know, where all of your fucking bodies are buried. And when I tell the press where the graves are, I'll do it from behind so many levels of plausible fucking deniability that when you realize the knife's already cut your throat, it'll look like fucking suicide. And I will cut your throat.
You know, I'm going to burn you for this.
Says the witch while she's tied to the fucking stake. Get the fuck out of my office. But I wouldn't settle back into yours for very long. You're going for a long vacation, you stupid quizzling fuck. And if we're real fucking lucky, the plane will crash on descent.
Fuck you too.
Yeah, bye. Where the fuck's the fucking Alka-Seltzer? Fuck off! Fuck off! Said the lady as she picked up her chainsaw and tongs.
That sounds more like one of Rachel's lines.
Transference. Hell of a way to deal, Mr. President.
You know, you don't sound good.
You mean I don't sound like my usual cheerful self? Oh, Mr. President, I'm shocked.
Oh, fair enough. How are we doing, Alex?
Well, between broken bones, ruined reputations, and enough fucking threats to fill an FBI case file, we think we might have a shot at a majority on the jobs bill.
That's promising.
But not solid. These people are born sheep. One of those bloviating talking jackasses in the press starts to complain, and they will complain. And we're holding a fucking Jenga brick and staring at a pile of splinters, wondering where it all went so fucking wrong.
Well, you and Rachel enjoy my full faith and trust that you'll pull it off. You have to. Nobody else is going to get it done.
Thank you.
Pamela called my executive secretary this afternoon in a terrible rage. Apparently you called her in and proceeded to hurl unsubstantiated innuendos and vulgar threats at her again.
I did. Her captain shit himself in terror. The stewardesses are on fire. Most of the passengers got sucked through the floor, but she still won't jump out of her fucking plane. The more she talks in public, the more she's like a succubus, sucking your approval rating out through your dick.
Where's my wife while all of this is going on?
Watching from the sidelines. You've got to push Dixon. Push her hard, push her fast. Just mail her the fucking parachute. I'm sure she'll appreciate it if there's anything left over once she hits.
She's right about Korea, you know.
Oh, of course she's fucking right about Korea. But you've got a military leadership who's going to have to be pulled out of their, like, fucking wisdom teeth, a Congress who loves looking like they've got fucking hot air balloons inflated down the front of their pants, and a populace that, by all accounts, just likes watching shit blow up. Even if we move for withdrawals now, it'll at least be a year before we can get any traction. For the record, if it wasn't so much fun riveting some of these Beltway fuck nozzles to the bulkhead, I might suggest that this job sucks.
I never should have signed her onto the ticket.
You didn't have a choice. She'd have tanked the party's chances in the general election if you didn't.
And she's still trying to ruin them now. Do you know why I trust you, Alex?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
I had to spend 6 months convincing you to be my advisor in the primary campaign, and 4 more convincing you to be my chief of staff after we'd won the nomination. You never asked. You fought like hell to get out of it. You know...
No.
Come on, Alex. You're one of the only people in this rat hole I can trust not to be a grandstanding, self-serving hack.
Fuck no.
I'm
not kidding. You even think about asking again, and president or no, don't be surprised when you get 2 new holes in your head from a hidden fucking CIA assassin the next time you're in Insurgencyville for a fucking troop inspection.
You respect me too much.
I respect the office too much. You, I could take or leave.
I promise.
You promise.
I promise.
You're sure you promise?
I, Robert Rutherford Sloan, do hereby solemnly swear that I will never again ask you to serve as my vice president under penalty of bloody political death.
Good enough for me.
You need to go home, Alex. And stay home tomorrow, too. I don't like the sound of that cough, and we can muddle through with Rachel watching the store for a day. When you get back, then we can start discussing who's going to replace Dixon.
I don't like staying home with a fucking cold with this many balls in the air.
Well, good night, Alex.
Good night, Mr. President.
You have been listening to Politricks, a political satire. Episode 3, A New Challenger Approaches. Original story and concept by Brian Taylor. Adapted for audio, produced and directed by Aaron Mills. Starring Katrina Joyner as White House Chief of Staff Alex Wilson, Julie Paulson as Deputy Chief of Staff Rachel Lane, Jillian Quigley as Vice President Pamela Dixon, Melissa Sternenberg as Republican political consultant Leslie Landon, and Anthony Legato as President Robert Sloan. Also featured were Julia S. as Tina Bostic, Cristobal Quieros as Danny Gutierrez, Aaron Mills as White House Press Secretary William Freeman, and Michelle Speck as Yancey McGregor. Music was by Kevin MacLeod, which can be found at incompetech.com. Comments or questions? Visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/politrickssatire, POLITRICKSSATIRE. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual events or actual persons living or dead is entirely coincidental. This has been a Shallow 15 production.